You have to unmute, sir.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much. Langar Saab, you have done a great job. I'm so glad that you have given a very nice foundation to this session. Very apt foundation, and especially you gave how peace and development can be achieved in those 4 stages. Thank you also for the nice words about me. I would like to start by sharing my screen for a while. Just check out, please, if it's okay. Okay. I think you can see the slides. So welcome to this experts panel on peace through development. I thank RD 3040, DG Rjendra Singh ji, USM Founder President Varghese ji, Associated Organizers, National Peace Movement, Rotary Club of Indore, Peace Channel, Globe Ethics, Trendsetter Indian Current. You guys are doing an awesome job. Organizing a global peace convention on this scale is not an easy job. You have done it. I've been following it since yesterday, and it's been impressive every time I tune in. Okay, I'll just skip my basic introduction because I want to give time immediately to our speaker, Mr. Victor Paul. So I will come straight away to Dr. Victor Paul. I request you to be ready. I'll just introduce you. Dr. Victor Paul is from Christ University, Bangalore. He's the head of Department of Sociology and Social Work, Christ University, Bangalore, and PhD in Sociology. He's worked and got fantastic experience with CARE, Tata Tea Limited, and UNICEF. What impressed me most about Dr. Paul is that he has worked sincerely for improving quality of education in various states in India, reaching out to 300,000 schools and 42 million students. God bless you, Victor ji. Bahut acha kaam kiya hai. And then what I liked about him is that he has worked for tsunami relief in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. At a time when perhaps nobody wanted to go there because it was devastated by tsunami, Dr. Paul went there and helped in relief. He was chairman of the organizing committee of our 6th National Peace Convention held in Bangalore. And I'm told he did a fantastic job. I could not attend it, but I'm told it was done very well. He's going to talk on human relationships, the mantra for peace. And when I read that topic, I was wondering what really creates an environment for development. Let's hope that Dr. Paul can answer that question. Dr. Paul, over to you.
Thank you.
The stage is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Pradeep. Respected Father Varghese Alangadan, Father Jacob Parambil, and moderator of this session, Dr. Pradeep Walk, my co-panelist Rotarian Mahesh Kotbagi, and Rotarian Dr. Rjendra Shende, all distinguished Rotarians and guests, and my dear participants. Good evening, good morning to everyone, wherever you are in the part of the world. Hope all of you are keeping well and taking care of your health. It's truly an honor and privilege for me to be part of this International Peace Conference. My interaction with the Peace Convention organizers and the volunteers has always inspired me and motivated me. And I'm here today because of their commitment and dedication and the way they have organized the program in the last year, which I witnessed. So today, I'll be talking about the aspects of human relationship that promote peace, and I would like to take you through a self-reflective process while discussing the formula or mantra for peace. As Dr. Pradeep mentioned, I was working for UNICEF in 2005 when I was asked to go to Andaman Nicobar for tsunami relief activities. So the operation was called Build Back Better. So when I reached Andaman Nicobar and the Nicobar Island, so my mission, giving earthquake resistant houses was one of my activities which I was supposed to do. And when I started the process in Andaman Nicobar Island, the materials were transported. But the captain of the villages and the people together, they resisted it. And we were in trouble because we wanted to convince them, we wanted to have this program, and the money was allocated, fund was allocated, all the machinery and team engineers and all of them were in station. So what should be done? It was, I was leading the team. So it went, I think, almost a month. We tried to convince them, nothing worked. Then we stopped. I told my team to stop the work. And we focused on other relief activities, education, health, and working with the communities, building community organizations, all that we started. And I knew that if I can work on human relationship, if I can work on establishing a rapport, I think most probably things would work. And it happened. Almost 3 months' time, the conflict, we were able to resolve the conflict by establishing a rapport with the community and also convincing them slowly we could start the work. So friends, as Rotarian Dr. Pradeep said, when Father Verghese also asked me about the topic, then I thought I will take up human relationship, the mantra for peace. Because I strongly believe that human relationship and positive attitude can establish peace. I was listening to the speakers in this morning session. So happy that, so I'm also so motivated by listening to them. And happy that almost all the speakers, they have set the floor for my topic. 10 a.m. session, I listened to Aditi Pandey and Navisha. They talked about peace, and Aditi mentioned that youth has the ability to turn the table. What a powerful statement. The second session I was listening, Lima Dar mentioned about peace and human relationship. The essence of her talk, the stories and all that was pointing towards human relationship. Sanjoli mentioned that peace is contagious. Peace is contagious. And Ms. Radia, we had an international speaker, and she mentioned about the process, experience, and remembrance. He said, it is not the experts, but the experience is important to establish peace. And the moderator of that session, he mentioned, Dr. Jose Nandikara, mentioned about the personal transformation before social transformation. So friends, I will also talk about personal transformation at the end of my presentation today. And evening session, I was so impressed by that Hindi session. Mr. Jitendra Jain mentioned that peace begins from within. And Rotarian P.V. Rajagopal beautifully described debate and dialogue. And he mentioned about Harvard University study that relation is improving the quality of life. Relationship is improving the quality of life. So let me start my talk with Jan Ellison, the former UN Deputy Secretary General's words. He said, without peace, there is no development. And without development, there is no peace. I strongly believe that peace is an essential element for the development of any individual or nation. When we establish peace, we are creating a conducive environment for development. A healthy environment is very important for development. And as you know, in conflict-ridden communities, operations are disrupted due to the unreliable social services and the prevalence of social problems such as poverty, hunger, and inequality. My experience made me to believe, 35 years I was working in the developmental sector and as a social work educator, that made me to believe that peace starts with developing a positive attitude and establishing personal contacts and relationships. Relationships among people are the basis for peace promotion. It goes up to the groups, communities, nations, and also the interpersonal relationships are very important in establishing peace, and that help people to understand the needs of others, help them in times of trouble and enjoy their company, or just be good friends during the good times. We can promote peace by meeting people, exchanging ideas about the culture and way of life. So when we analyze the factors involved in resolution of conflicts, often it is observed that peace or peace building requires an understanding of 4 different aspects of conflict resolution or skill sets. These are governance, effective governance, negotiation, non-violent struggle, and personal transformation. All these 4 skill sets are required to establish peace. Increasing in conscientization and the willingness to get to know the other, to live with the difference, may lead to a much more peaceful society. Relationships occur within the structural and cultural context. Evening speakers were mentioning about the cultural aspects. It's very important. We need to understand the culture of that place wherever we are working. For many people, peace is merely absence of war and conflict. But the concept of peace in a society goes beyond the understanding where peace is not simply an absence of war, rather it is also the presence of justice and equality that ensures the basic necessities of life. It's very important. Today morning I was listening to Navisha. She was mentioning the same thing. Peace is not merely the absence of war. The process of peace building in a society involves the elimination of violence, oppression, greed, and environmental destruction by the constructive mediation of conflict. So when we talk about peace and development, we often make the reference to our constitution. But remember, our constitution only guarantees right, doesn't grant right, it guarantees. It is important for every citizen to understand that while working with or working for peace and justice, we are actually working on the inherent rights of every human being, which is guaranteed by our constitution. So I often find large number of NGOs or civil society organizations, they facilitate more durable peace in numerous contexts by addressing various social, cultural, and economic issues, including local community building, economic welfare, or economic issues, including community building, protection, gender, or sustainable development. So consequently, as the roles of these sub-state actors become more prominent today, many mushrooming of NGOs and many NGOs are working in this sector. So the scope for peace building significantly expanded. So peace building is often seen as an extension of conflict resolution or conflict transformation. But sustaining peace begins with identifying those attributes and assets that have sustained social cohesion, inclusive development, the rule of law, and human security. So these all factors together contribute to a peaceful society. So friends, I would like to suggest a mantra or maybe a formula here for establishing peace and development. So these 7 behavior patterns that I'm going to explain are from Dr. Robert Liddon's research work based on Dr. Robert Greenleaf's powerful movement called servant leadership. So many of you must have read his book, Dr. Robert Greenleaf's servant leadership. So powerful, his concepts and the ideas. So servant leaders, they embody the leadership characteristics, capacities, attitudes, and values such as trust, deep listening, foresight, caring, accountability, and balance. In fact, today evening, I was listening to P.V. Rajagopal's talk. Very beautifully, he narrated what in his speech. All these points I could understand. So by leading a way that truly serves others, such leaders develop human possibilities in themselves and for others also. So the first point which I would like to mention is emotional healing is very important. Emotional healing. When we work for peace, we have to understand about emotional healing, and for oneself and for others. We also learn to heal, which is a powerful force for transformation and integration. We also should be aware about the crisis and adversities, and we need to be empathetic when we talk about, or say, emotional healing. Deep listening is important, an ability to listen, and co-creation. So whichever community we are working for or serving, as Rotarians, many of us are, our service is our motto. So co-creation is important. It is not that I am the one who provides. So it should be a partnership together. Paul E. Gavin, he introduced 5 stages of healing. He mentioned about the first stage as grief and denial. So no life is free from crisis, he says. Sometimes that becomes a turning point in many of us' life. So denial, the first phase, he says. And the second stage, he says, anger. And mostly you understand that anger follows grief. And the third stage, bargaining. Many times our decisions may get reversed. And sometimes it may lead to depression. What is depression? Unexpressed anger turned inward on self. People get depressed. And finally, acceptance. So Gavin talks about setting realistic goals for emotional healing. So emotional healing is the first point or first mantra. And the second one is creating value for the community. So we have to create value for whichever community we are working for. Being a student, being teachers, being Rotarians, being community workers, social workers, being religious workers. So we need to create value for the community. We need to build the community and commitment to the growth of others. Very important when we talk about peace and development. And we need to pursue. Persuasion is also important. And third point is demonstrating conceptual skills. Conceptualization is also important. Not merely talking about peace. Conceptualization and foresightness is important. And that will definitely lead to empowerment, empowering and commitment to the growth of others. I understand from today, I got an opportunity to listen to most of the speakers, and almost all the speakers were talking about, the commitment to the society, serving the society, establishing peace and development. So we need to empower them, empower people, and empower has to be on the foundation of empathy and that commitment to the growth of others. So empowerment. And the fifth point is helping others to grow and succeed. Can we think that, can I put the others and also help others to grow and succeed? Listen to them and communicate to them, effectively communicate and help them to grow. Definitely peace will prevail. And let us put others first. The sixth point, put others first. We have to pursue persuasion and awareness, creating awareness and putting others first. And finally, let us all behave ethically. Stewardship. Behave ethically is the seventh point or the mantra which I would like to share. And all these mantras, you can put into 4 broad areas of changes. That is your heart, head, hands, and habit. 4 broad areas. Your heart, you need to listen to your heart. And heart will say, put others first, putting others first, and replacing pride with humility. Listening to others, replacing fear with confidence. Behave ethically, heart will say. And head will say, demonstrate conceptual skills and empathy and empowerment. Head will direct you. So you have to listen to your heart and head, and your hands, helping others to grow and succeed and creating value for community. And habits, finally, emotional healing and taking a pause and think and healing self and others. So friends, I am going to conclude. So peace can be most effectively sustained when it is conceived as a public good for which the state is responsible. Peace education must be taken up by all the education institutions, the state, and all the education institutions and colleges in our country. It will be more effective and meaningful when adopted according to the social and cultural context and needs of our country. So peace education must be aimed at teaching individuals the information, attitudes, values, skills, and behavior competencies needed to resolve conflicts. Sustaining peace constitutes a paradigm shift in how we think about peace and how we address conflict. So sensitivity to diversity and focus on inclusion are the values to be promoted, and such conferences like this are helping in that direction. So I take this opportunity to thank the moderator, Rotarian Dr. Pradeep, who managed his role very meticulously. In fact, last week he called me and said, "Sir, I'm in so mantra for peace, what it is and how things will be." So I explained to him what I'm going to talk. So his passion and also I could understand that his concern and his, so he did his job very well. So I thank the organizers, especially Father Verghese and all the team members of National Peace Movement and USM for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts on peace and development. Let us all work towards developing a peace promoting mindset. Someone in the morning session mentioned about the peace promoting mindset among all citizens of our country. So let us spread civilization of love and peace through human relationship. Let me conclude by Mahatma Gandhi's words. The greatness of humanity is not in being human, but in being humane. I remain. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the nice word you said about me. What I liked most about your presentation today is that you spoke from the heart, and it was based on your own practical experience in the field. And with that experience, you have been able to give out a very strong mantra, 7-step mantra, and 4 areas of change. So this is a very good step in the right direction of peace and development. Thank you, Dr. Victor Paul. Now let me just check, Dr.